Back to WM classes. Today we are going to study neoclassical welfare economics. Neoclassical welfare economics. Under this approach, we will be studying three important concepts, that is concept of Pareto optimality, the Marshallian theory given by Marshall, and the contribution of A.C. Pigou in welfare economics. So let us start with Pareto optimality. But before starting Pareto optimality, let's just simply discuss about neoclassical welfare economics. Now, one of the key assumptions of neoclassical economics is that utility, which we have been studying, utility to consumers, and not the cost of production is the most important factor. That when you are distributing good or when you are producing good or anything, be it anything, how much utility is being provided to the consumer, that is most important, and not how much cost is incurred on the production of a certain good or certain factor. That is not at most important, rather utility to the consumer is most important. So according to neoclassical economics, utility to consumer is most important, is most important. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is that Wilfredo Pareto, who has given the concept of Pareto optimality, he was an Italian economist. He rejected the notion of cardinal utility. Okay, so cardinal utility has been rejected. The concept of cardinal utility, that we can count how many units of utility has been obtained. This concept has been rejected by neoclassical economists, particularly we're talking about Wilfredo Pareto. And instead of that, he focused on interpersonal comparison of utilities, that we can definitely compare interpersonal comparison. This was given by Wilfredo Pareto, that cardinal utility, he rejected the notion of cardinal utility and said that utility can be compared, that is interpersonal comparison is possible among the utilities. Now, Pareto's concept of social welfare, Pareto's concept of social welfare is again based on ordinal utility, where we can compare utility, and it is also free from various value judgments of the society. Okay, it is based on ordinal utility, that we can always order the utility, we can always compare the utility obtained from one good to another. Ordinal utility. Coming to the main point of Pareto optimality, we have already discussed what is Pareto optimality in brief. Now we are going to study it in detail. So, according to Pareto, he has a specific condition for optimality or efficient allocation. Okay, so that if the resources have to be efficiently allocated in the society, there has to be a condition. What is the condition? The condition is of Pareto optimality. If the resources are to be allocated efficiently in the society, then a condition has to be fulfilled, which is the condition of Pareto optimality. By this criteria, we would say that if, let's say, there is a policy change in our area, that policy change would be socially desirable, that would be socially desirable, or that would increase the welfare of the society if everyone is made better off. Now, there are two criteria: the weak Pareto criteria, according to which if there is a certain change made in the society, a policy change is made in the society, it is desirable for everyone if everyone is made better off. If everyone is made better off. Now, this is called as the weak Pareto criteria. Why is it called weak criteria? Because we all know it is not always possible to make everybody better off, right? There would be some segments which would be left out, or they might be negatively impacted also. But then even if they are negatively impacted, we have to rehabilitate them. We have to provide resources for them so that we can also think about them. So this criteria that everyone is made better off, it is a weak Pareto criteria because this is not technically actually possible. Now there is another criteria under the Pareto optimality concept, and that is the strong Pareto criteria. What does the strong Pareto criteria say? Strong Pareto criteria, according to which at least some people are made better off while no one is made worse off. Now, important here is to be noted that if a policy change is being made and no person is made worse off, no person is made worse off, we are not taking away things from anybody, but at least some of the people, are made better off. Even then, we would say that that policy change is socially desirable. Do you understand what I mean to say? Here we are not discussing about that everyone is made better off. Everyone does not need to be made better off, even if some people are made better off, but that when some people are made better off, that should not be taken away from other people. In the process of making some people better off, other people should not be made worse off. So this is the strong Pareto criteria, that a policy change would be socially desirable when some are made better off while no one is made worse off. This is very important. What is a Pareto optimal allocation? A Pareto optimal allocation would be a Pareto optimal allocation would be that resources are allocated in such a way that our resources, if we have certain resources in the society and there are people, these resources are allocated among the population, among the people in such a way that it is not possible to increase the production of one good without reducing production of another good, or increase the benefit of one individual without reducing the benefit of another individual. So you have to understand this. This is somewhat technical language, but it is the most easiest language. I'll make it a little bit easy for you if you're not able to get it. First of all, let's write the statement such that it is not possible to increase the production of one good without reducing of another good. Now, this is the example of Pareto optimal allocation among factors of production. What are factors of production? Factors of production are those which are used to produce goods and services. Now, the distribution or allocation of resources among the factors of production would be efficient or would be Pareto optimal when it is not possible, when resources are allocated in such a way among these two factors, say labor 1 and labor 2 from two different companies who are producing two different goods. Resources are distributed in such a way that it is not possible to increase the production of one good without reducing the production of another good. Why we are saying this? Because obviously if you can increase the production of one good, right, without reducing the production of another good, that means there is still scope of giving more resources or producing more. If that is possible, then how is it efficient? If a condition is approaching whereby you are now in a position that if in a certain criteria you want to increase the production of say biscuits, then you have to reduce the production of defense goods. Without that, this redistribution would not be possible. Then that would be Pareto optimal, because now you have fully distributed the resources. There is no tendency of redistributing the goods. But if you can take some resources from the defense sector and increase the production in the biscuit sector, then what does that mean? That some of the resources were not being fully utilized in the defense sector. So how would that would be optimal? So this is what is Pareto optimal allocation. I hope you understood. I think this is enough for today's class. In the next video, we will understand in detail the assumptions and all the three conditions, the efficiency exchange, and production mix, and all those three conditions we'll study in detail. Thank you so much.